Good afternoon. Welcome on in for another episode of From Day One. The afternoon edition is upon us. And of course, we do have a great lineup of court cases for us this afternoon. We'll start with Judge Rangel down in El Paso. Ooh, the only note I have that I wrote here is, am I the effing bleep? Starting with the letter B. So this ought to be pretty good.
2019 2790, 5511, 5753, 679, and 1034. The state of, and that's the last two cases are 2020. Now, counsel, please.
Your Honor, it's for the state on 2020-0D01034.
Ivan Martinez for the state for the rest of the cases, Your Honor.
Honor, Angelina Lugo representing Ernie Duenas on 2019-0D05753 and also 2019-0D02790.
Your Honor, Fernando Chacon representing him on the last 2020-00335 and 2020-0C00335, but that's the county criminal court case, Your Honor.
Alrighty, this guy is at least either in a hotel room or his bedroom.
And I'm probably representing him on all the felonies in your court except for what Ms. Lugo is there for.
Very well. Let the record reflect this is a bond hearing. Ms. Lugo or Mr. Chacon, please, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, this gentleman, Ernie Duelas, we were in court at our last hearing, and he has been on bond, on PR bonds and corporate surety bond as well. He is 21 years of age. He lives in, he was born and raised in El Paso, Texas, and prior to his arrest, he was living with his...
Whoa, slow down. He's only 21 years old, and he's got that laundry list of charges that he has to have 2 public defenders and a slew of federal felonies. Okay.
Friend, they're common law in a sense. They have 3 children together, and those children are a year and a half, 2.5 years of age, and 3.5 years of age.
So in other words, he's been busy. Again, 21, he's had 3 kids already.
Prior to his arrest, was working at Church's Chicken, and he has worked. He has attended all his years of schooling. He obtained his high school diploma, and then started has an interest in going into the HVAC.
Reed hasn't stepped 1 foot inside of a training facility for that.
Work. Your Honor, he has been on bond, and has always reported on bond. He's always reported on the PR portion of the bond. He's always stayed in touch with corporate surety bond. He has no positive UAs. If I can hear you, Your Honor. Yeah, no positive UAs. We're at a point on this case, Your Honor, where we would like to work out a plea agreement eventually with this case, but of course everything's taken a little bit more time. We've got cases, misdemeanor cases, and then these felonies as well. I would ask if the court would consider either putting him back on PR bonds. He has never failed to report, as I understand, and or a combination of corporate surety bond with PR bond. If the court were to grant him a bond, his grandparents are willing to take him in initially for a 14-day period of time, just to be sure that he's safe to be around the rest of the family. They have a 2-story home, and they have they have a section of the house where he could stay by himself. And then his mother and his children, and of course his common law spouse, would like for him to move back with them. I can tell the court that I think Well, I'll stop there, Your Honor, and allow Mr. Chacon to proceed and elaborate further if he wishes to.
Anything else you want to say, Mr. Chucklin?
Your Honor, he's always had a very good connection with his grandfather and his parents, and he's a very smart young man, and he's been, I guess, transitioning, and so I think that he would be okay to be put on PR bond, Judge.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Sedliff or Mr. Martinez, you want to respond?
Sure, Your Honor. I want to
Okay, here we go.
just go into
Both defending attorneys going, yeah, let's have PR bonds. Here's the prosecutor.
a few things regarding his current cases. May I share my screen with you, Judge?
Absolutely.
So you have to allow it. I think it's in the middle of your screen under share screen.
Let's see if she's technologically defensive enough to be able to pull this off. And no, she's not. I think she shared her own screen. For stuffed pepper soup the fourth from allrecipes.com. Objection, Your Honor. Stuffed pepper soup? Really?
You have never done this before.
Judge, you shared your screen with us.
Stuffed pepper soup.
Yummy, I'm hungry.
Object, Your Honor.
Well, what do I do now? Let me pause share. Your screen is paused. Stop sharing. Okay. So I think I have to make you a co-host.
Fast forwarding during the talk of trying to figure out Zoom here.
Yes, ma'am. Just one.
Good.
There we go. Now it's time to have some fun.
I've taken a little effort in arranging, so for my own understanding, what the defendant has been up to. So that first screen is all the cases that you've called, as well as the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cases just listed on this first slide, including manslaughter, also delivering drugs, evading with vehicle and possession of controlled substance, manslaughter with controlled substance, possession controlled substance, evading with vehicle, evading, 2 more evadings, resisting, and something that's POM that I don't know the legal acronym on that one.
pending misdemeanors. As you can see, there are 4 instances of evading, 2 with vehicles and 2 on foot. One of the evading with a vehicle is related to one of the evading on foot. The defendant has these pending offenses stemming from an evading with a vehicle in which he evaded on that motorcycle that's in the bottom left, as well as on the motorcycle in oncoming traffic. That's him going against traffic, where I'm indicating with my pointer. This is he abandoned his motorcycle and ran through a residential area, and they had to pursue him and get him. He had he had cocaine in this instance of that amount, less than a gram. And so that was on January 17th of 2019. On April 18th of 2019, he was arrested with others that were in this car. They had additional offenses, which are reflected by those THC cartridges on the right. They had a large amount of money with them, a scale and other accoutrement of drug dealing. That's defendant circled with his co-defendants. And that's that offense that's stemming from there. On May 28th of 2019, this is 2020 0D00679 with evading with a vehicle. Again, now he has a Cadillac Escalade, which is a question just as an aside. I wonder about he has 2 lawyers right now. If they're both appointed, that's a question. He has his Cadillac Escalade. He evades from the officers, abandons the Escalade, and then goes into someone else's backyard. The officer has to chase after him, and in fact, he struggled so much that several officers had to subdue him in that instance. On August 6, 2019, while out on bond again, he sells this cocaine to an undercover officer.
No.
That's a picture of the cocaine that he was planning to sell. I would point you to this username is Flamer. Just keep that in mind for just a few minutes, Judge. During 2018, the defendant completed PTD on another resisting case, evading and possession of marijuana. So that's 5 total of evading cases that he has in his life. He did a beer run with these other people. And that's also significant because he completed PTD in 2018. So this is a timeline of the defendant's activity.
God damn, that's a timeline.
Back in 2015 when he's a PI. He slapped his current girlfriend back then when she was just his girlfriend. He does a runaway case in December of 2017. That's when we have that resisting. He gets out on bond in December of 2018. And we have no other offenses in 2018 because he was on PTB that whole period. He completes it in July 2018. By early 2019, we have him evading with the vehicle and the possession of that controlled substance, as I was indicating with those 3 friends, and those are the facts of that. He gets out on bond on the 18th. On March 19th, he's evading again, and there's marijuana in the car on that instance. On April 9th, he's out on bond, and on April 18th, he picks up the 1 to 4 grams of THC. There's surveillance on the motel, and that's with his friends. He gets out on bond. He further there's a El Paso Police Department case stemming from ag assault with a deadly weapon, where he pointed and fired into the air a firearm having to do with a drug deal gone bad, where someone stole drugs from him, and he's threatening someone else as a result of that drug deal. On May 28th, that's when he's evading again, resisting and evading. He gets out on bond on May 30th, and then on August 6th, he sells the cocaine to the undercover officer, and then he's also arrested, and when he's arrested, he has this additional THC on him. It's a first-degree felony amount, and that's the offense that I'm handling. He gets out on bond on the 6th, and on... I'm sorry, I've made an error there. He got out on the 13th, I believe. And then by the November 22nd, I think his PR bond was revoked, and so he was put in jail again, and he got out on bond. And then my case, this 1034 right there, was indicted, and that's when he was arrested in March of 2020.
All right, now that's pretty freaking bad, especially for the defense people trying to get a PR bond. But, as the old joke says, but wait, there's more.
So I also know he's a confirmed Bloods 1700 gang member. His moniker is Flame, and if you remember back on that text message I was sharing with you, that's his username when he's selling those drugs to undercover officers. That's the place that he has claimed as his residence, which I believe is, I could be wrong, but I believe it's his grandparents. Further, Judge, I would share with you the jail calls that I have reviewed. He hasn't learned anything.
Oh my God, really? Another defendant that can't realize that, hey, all jail calls are being fucking recorded? Let's go.
On while out on bond. Without reading it to you, Judge, I can make it available to you, but he has...
Really? I'm gonna be as rude as dog. I'm gonna be like, what the f do you guys want? What the f do you want? Definitely, bro, I don't do dog. There's another in harassing me. I'm trying to the mother... Definitely don't know, man. I don't know. Definitely, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm gonna live stress-free here. Again on a dog. I'm not touching anything.
some very choice things to say. Well, this is showing that he had a gun when
gun.
he was arrested in August, and he wanted his dad to sell the gun so he could get out on PR bond. When he talks to his grandmother...
Whoa, slow that down. She was a beep, starting with B, that wit. Yes, his grandma, the judge. Yeah, definitely. She was in a bad mood. She's like, oh, do you know you have many, many charges, and I'm gonna, goddamn that effing beep. Do you know you're not getting out on the PR bond? And I was like, yeah, actually I am. And then she was like, no, I'm gonna revoke you. I was like, that beep. Really?
This is the language that they use referring to your decision to revoke his bond.
Am I the effing B?
Thank you. You said it better than I did, Your Honor.
Mr. Ramos!
And then in March,
I'm the effing B. Holy... Oh, there's another one. The judge is a hoe? Oh, my God. The judge is a hoe dog.
No, she just muted herself there.
So, Judge,
I think that's the first. I think that's the first time in the history of any cases I've seen with Judge Renhale that she's had to mute herself.
The officers that are taking their life and the community in danger. Everyone's life is in danger with this defendant out on bond. He's a scary guy. He does not care about driving in front of traffic as it's ongoing in residential areas on multiple occasions, selling drugs, and then referring to you in the way that he did. He doesn't belong out with those 3 little kids or the rest of the community. He's not going to follow what the president says, the governor says, the county commissioner, the mayor, or what you say, Judge. He's a dangerous person, and he's ready for TBC time.
Others, he wants him to go. Miss Renhale? Miss Renhale? Miss Renhale? You might want to unmute yourself, Your Honor. Your Honor? Your Honor, you might want to unmute yourself.
Judge, you're muted.
Okay, I'm back. Okay. I don't want to discuss this case anymore. If somebody is referring to me in that manner, way, shape, or form because I revoked his PR bond because he couldn't comply, they had positive UAs, then I'm not going to waste any more time. And I've got other people who will probably respect me and respect me a little bit more. Mr. Settlers, what are the bonds set at?
Your Honor, it's difficult for me to tell on portal. It appears he may not have a bond on my new offense, the 1034.
I'm sorry, Aaron. I have the bond amounts.
Oh, good. Go for it.
Just to let you know, Judge, he's only being held on detainer, so none of his bonds have been revoked, cash or surety portions. So I'm gonna go down the docket. That way I can.
His PR bond wasn't revoked?
No, Judge. He was just detained back in March.
Okay. So I'm setting new bonds then. That's what I'm going to do then.
Sounds good, Your Honor.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to... Give me the highest bond amount.
On the 5753 case, that one is a $10,000 cash surety.
Only 10? Not going to be.
That's the highest?
Yes, Judge. As far as cash surety, and then there's a 25,000 PR.
I'm on 1034. That one doesn't have a bond at all, right?
I see 25,000 PR.
Oh. Judge, that's a first degree. I don't know. That one might make sense to be at a different number. That's what we see.
Yeah. I'm going to put a $50,000 on the first degree, $50,000 on the 1034. $50,000 surety. On the 2020-679, I'm going to put a 15,000 surety. on the 2019 5753, it's going to remain, it's a 10,000 surety, right, Mr. Castañeda?
Yes, Judge, that was previously posted and has not been, there's no warrant for it or anything.
Okay, that's okay, I'll leave that one. Then we have another manufacturing delivery, which is a first degree correct in the 5511.
I believe that's a state jail,
right?
Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
I believe that one's a state jail. That one's under a grant.
Oh, okay, my printer, I didn't see that. Okay. That is going to be a 15,000 surety. And then in the evading arrest, it's going to be another 15,000 as in the other one.
And Judge, on that one, there was a 7,500 cash surety posted. Do you want this to be an additional
7,500, an additional 7,500. I want it to be raised to 15,000. Get it? So all he has to post is another 7,500. Okay, so it's a 15,000. 15. Okay, there it is. Okay, Mr. Sedliff, everything. Anything else we need to do in this case?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Mr. Chacon, Ms. Lugo, anything else?
Your Honor, I only want to say to the court, of course, I have total respect for Your Honor, for all the courts, and I will go over all of this with Mr. Duenas.
Good, thank you. Thank you. Mr. Chacon, anything else, sir?
I'm gonna do the same, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
I apologize.
Well, it's not you, it's the...
No, it's okay, Judge. I'm still part of that. So
I
my
know.
apologies for anyway.
I don't think in any way, shape, or form, Ms. Lugo, Mr. Chacon, I do not impute the disrespect, the outrageous disrespect that your client has shown the court, the system, me. I do not impute that to either of you. Both of you are fine attorneys. So no worries. Go be safe, everybody. Go be safe, everybody. You'll be excused. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Aaron. That was great. You taught me how to share screen with somebody else now. Okay,
I
we're
know
late.
Yeah, don't share
I
pepper
know.
soup next
We're
time.
late for our next one. I'm gonna get back on, okay?
Yeah, don't share pepper soup next time, though, Your Honor. And since we have a little more that we're going to do this Friday, we have yet another situation. This one's going to be with Mike from Law Talk with Mike.
Hi, this is Attorney Mike Gravel coming to you from Chicago as usual. And
All right, you made your introduction. Very nicely done, Mike.
Yourself. Mr. Starr, you muted yourself.
Okay, sometimes I hit myself over the head too. So
now
if you're,
apparently.
I have to,
No!
And it only goes downhill from there.
Got it. Let's rock. And now, more court for our good friend Mike from Law Talk with Mike.
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you, Judge. Thank you, Ms. Lonnie.
Burkos.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, we're
Thank you,
just
Ms.
setting it
Lonnie.
up. There we go.
Burkos case, people versus Anthony Lane.
Image Ganatra, First Assistant Prosecuting Attorney for the People.
Lena Anderson, First Assistant Appellate Defender, speaking on behalf of Mr. Lane. Mr. Lane,
What's your name?
Selena Anderson. Your Honor, I use my first name.
No, I thought the other guy, Mr. Fortune said Kabina. I thought she was.
That's why his call didn't get returned, Judge.
That's what I was saying.
But I saw you already knew that. So.
I've known Miss Anderson a long time. You call it by the wrong name.
Not at all, Judge. Not at all.
Okay.
Mr. Lane, please state your name for the court.
Anthony Lane. Good morning, sir.
Is
All
there
right, how you doing?
a waiver for continued plea negotiations and resolution in circuit?
All right. Mr. Lane, you understand that? Your counsel's indicated you're waiving your right to a preliminary examination.
Yes, sir.
You understand that a preliminary examination is a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offense alleged was committed or offenses alleged were committed and that you committed.
Yes, sir.
You understand you'll not have that hearing and you'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so far so good. Everything's going the way it should, but don't worry, it goes sideways pretty fast here.
Sounds
People
good,
also
Mike.
waive their right.
Your Honor, I'll agree to waive, but I do want to make a statement on the record.
Yes.
It appeared that earlier in this time block that Mr. Lane was rolling a blunt
Uh-oh.
and might have been smoking. There are some very observant women, professional court members, staff members who had pointed this out to me. And so
I really like this guy, the prosecutor, Nimish Ganatra. It's just comical to the way he said rolling a blunt because he's so sober and serious. But he does a great job here. He doesn't overstep. He just says, it appears that way to me.
I want to make sure that that's clarified about what Mr. Lane might have been doing, because I don't know if that's going to affect his waiver today, but I would like to bring that to the court's attention. One of the individuals who did text that information to me was somebody who's affiliated with Community Corrections. So.
And Judge, I can also confirm what Mr. Ganatra just said.
Gotcha. Thank you, Ms. Tank.
Your Honor, given that information, I guess we need to adjourn the PCC so Mr. Lane and I can speak further before we wait.
Yeah, I think we do.
I think that might be wise. Mr. Lane, you understand what's happening now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's realized he had just done fucked up.
That response is fantastic. If you couldn't have a better confirmation that he was doing, in fact, exactly what it appeared he was doing.
And don't forget to hit like and subscribe.
Hey, the dogs are nice. They don't get anything other than snacks.
All right. So, Mr. Lane, one of the maybe the easier thing is that people get to appear by Zoom, but you also have to understand people are watching everything that you do. So now, let me ask you this. You're not supposed to be using it all. Are you
Correct.
on community corrections testing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good so far.
When's the last time you tested?
That's also a good question.
2 weeks ago.
No, that's not a good answer, though.
You were supposed to be testing 2 times per week.
I
tested
back to back.
Even if you tested back to back, that would have covered 2 weeks ago. That would not have covered this week. Or last week.
Okay, but have you...
I was gonna go to test, but then I
You
got
tested this week?
No, sir. I was supposed to drop it every week, and they dropped it to 2 times a month.
Well,
Because all my drops is playing.
you dropped it to 2 times a month because I have on March 7th that you were to drug test 2 times per week. Let me see what it says. And then they put you on standard supervision, so then they turn it over to community corrections. So I'm going to clarify this. Given what's happened today, you are going to go back to testing 2 times per week. Do you understand that? Sir, do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I'm also going to order that you're to report to community corrections today, May 12th, for a test.
Anyone want to bet that's going to come up that he fails?
Anyone want to put money on the outcome of that test?
No bet, Mike. No bet.
Your Honor, I have no ride today.
You better get a ride.
Albion, Michigan.
Well, you better find somebody to get you a ride down here.
Not only do I not have a ride, I don't think I'm going to like the result.
Definitely not going to get
ordering a
over
test. You're the one that brought this on yourself by what you did. So I'm ordering a test today.
Okay,
if you
sir.
don't test today, I'm going to be issuing a warrant to have you picked up.
Did you understand that? What? Yeah, sure.
All right.
Just sign that order. So you need to get yourself arrangements to get over there. I will adjourn the probable cause conference. I'll adjourn it out 2 weeks. I'm just going to go to May 26, 2022 at 9.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And at this time, we'll continue with the added conditions. Thank you. Court calls case, People versus Chandler Langston.
I let this go for a little while because in his current state, he struggles to get off the Zoom call.
Oh, okay. Let's continue then.
You keep laughing, Mr. Lang. I don't think you want to do that. Not with me. You better take yourself off before you think things are too funny. Thank you.
I wasn't laughing at you, sir. I wasn't laughing at you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Court calls case, People versus Chandler Langston.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Andery, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney on behalf of people.
Good morning, Judge Mike Gaddy, Assistant Public on behalf of Mr. Langston. Mr. Langston is here. Mr. Langston, state your name for the record. Did the court catch it? I didn't.
Yeah, I did catch his name. He's good.
Well, there you have it. That was just fun. These.
Thank you, Mike. So we brawl away. We actually have one more then that we could do. I didn't think we were going to go this far, but since we are, other than the one loss, these guys are clearing pretty quickly. I'm trying to get the next episode to queue. The media player is giving some fits. Alright, I think we've got it now. Mike, you ready with the other one? Let's go. Mike?
Do it.
Take it.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Morning, how are you?
Morning.
Are we waiting on anybody?
No.
Okay, what can I do to help y'all today?
Yes, sir. Get us off of your docket is what you could do.
Okay, is this a subset or a Karen, Mike?
Go ahead, Lacey. Start talking.
That's pretty specific. Ms. Kimball?
Yes, sir. Specific.
Go ahead, Ms. Kimball.
A custody evaluation was completed, and so we have filed a motion for drug screening and a motion for a psychological exam based on that custody evaluation recommendations.
Blah, 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 blah,
And
blah.
stop talking. You'll be able to respond in just a second. Ms. Kimball, you can go ahead and finish, and then Ms. Stiles, you'll have an opportunity to respond in just a minute.
I need to pause the hearing. I don't have an attorney. Can you give me some time to get an attorney?
Oh, she's just getting started. The entitlement is off the charts.
I haven't had adequate time to obtain an attorney, and my attorney withdrawed, and I'm going to need one appointed by the state.
That's not an option.
This isn't a criminal case. I believe it's a custody issue. I could be wrong, but I think it's emanating out of divorce. So you don't get a court-appointed attorney, and your attorney didn't withdraw it.
Bernie ran.
Hit like and subscribe.
No, the dogs are nice. They don't get it unless you're giving them some nice snackies.
Unless someone's asking that someone be held in contempt and jailed.
Please jail her.
Set in front of me. or it's an action by the state to terminate a parent's rights or something like that. Those are the only times I have the ability to appoint an attorney for you.
Okay, then go ahead.
Well, she more than qualifies for contempt, as you'll see. Maybe that would be a good idea. Hit her with a good contempt charge, and then appoint her a public defender. At least then you'd have somebody reasonable to talk to.
We also had sent discovery out as we're having our motion sometime back. I had worked with Ms. Stiles' prior counsel and had agreed to 2 extensions, and then we ultimately never got a response, and she filed a motion.
She got responses. Objection.
What's your objection? Hold on, wait a second. Ms. Stiles, you just need to object, and then let me know what your objection is. Don't yell at her.
Objection to hearsay. How do I submit my documents to you directly?
Hold on. So, Ms. Kimball, are you saying this was something that happened between counsel?
Yes, back in November. We are now setting this hearing is for our motion.
She also represents and also fucking sit there.
Okay. So, Ms. Stiles, I'll mute you in just a second. You need to let Ms. Kimball finish what she's saying, and then when you're talking, she'll let you say what you're saying, unless one of you has an objection that is a legal objection. You can't just...
Yeah, note that legal thing.
Ms. Kimball, why don't you just go ahead and finish telling me what... So you said that you're wanting...
He's too mellow for my taste, but he's mellow to the point where it's comical. It really is. He's just got ice in his veins. He doesn't care about any of this stuff. I would you'll see as it progresses. She's done enough already. She'd be in contempt. I'd be sending deputies out at this point. She's been swearing. She's been interrupting people. She's shown direct contempt of court. It's certainly within his discretion. He can handle it as he sees fit. I just wouldn't have the patience for that at all. There's just no way.
A drug screen, so a drug test, and do you say psychological or psychiatric?
Psychological exam. And then we have an order to compel Ms. Stiles to turn over the responses to our discovery request.
See, right there is probably why he's being lenient with hers, because he's requesting a psychological evaluation, or she is the attorney for Ryan there. So he probably wants to tread lightly because he's not sure if she's psychologically competent to deal with this situation. My guess, and I don't know, and I would be open to an evaluation from a professional, because I'm not, but my gut instinct is she's perfectly competent. She's just nasty and entitled.
To provide dates for a deposition and for attorney's fees for $1,500.
All right, so Ms. Stiles, I'm sending you a prompt to unmute. If you just unmute yourself, you can respond.
Do we have
your
to?
Response to those things. Let's go with the drug screening part. Do you have an objection to taking a drug test?
I'm not going to pay for it because I'll tell you up front I'll file for marijuana.
When was the last
But
time?
I'm happy to get
When was the last time you took?
That's not good in the middle of court, which is legal. Admitting that you're committing a crime. You're not in a state like California where it's legal. So you're admitting that you're committing a crime and doing it daily.
Marijuana.
I use marijuana daily. All day, every day.
Oh boy, that's an issue. I believe they're in Texas, and it's not legal there. And if you don't believe me, just go over to Derek Wyatt's site. He's got a nice song called "In Texas It's Still Illegal," and that's where we're at. And she's announcing in court that basically I flagrantly break the law. A lot of people do, but you don't announce it in court.
And it's legal in what states? California. So we can either get there or not get there. Your choice tonight. So I'm glad to take direct test. Okay, good. It's going to be on his expense, but
I'm pretty low key. We're in court.
Set up with Miss Kimball.
You need to be respectful. So you can just, if you're going to use my last name, that's fine. Just say Judge tonight. Okay, it's pretty easy. So You use marijuana all day, every day.
Not really all day, every day, but I use it daily, if that helps you with your interpretations.
Wow, I feel bad for Ryan. Can you imagine being married to that woman?
Mr. Low-key Honorable Judge tonight.
I'm not interpreting. I just said what you said.
Okay.
What is your response to the request for a psychological evaluation?
Not doing it, and you cannot force me to do it. You cannot physically make me go and show up and partake in anything that I do not want to partake in. Yes or no?
I would take that as a challenge.
I bet you would, Mike.
Why don't I go ahead and write that on this order and see how it works out?
Do you agree or not agree?
You don't get to ask me questions right now. I'm asking your. I'm asking.
Well played.
Position.
That's my response to you. You will not get any. I'm not doing a psych eval, and you cannot make it mandatory.
Interesting.
Interesting.
In terms of the motion to compel, they're talking about discovery. What's your response to their motion to compel?
Have you read their discovery? When are you going to view my videos?
Ma'am, you need to answer my question.
I answered your goddamn question.
All right. So I'm going to warn you that it is completely inappropriate to swear like that in court.
I think she just flipped him off.
You need to take yourself, you need to put yourself back on camera. I'm not going to allow that. So if you do that again, I'm going to sanction you $100 for every time that you swear in court, because that's not appropriate. You just need to not do it. You can answer the question and be respectful to Ms.
Is she muted right now? I mean, even while she's being held in contempt, it appears that she's muted because she's running her mouth and I'm not hearing it.
Into the court, and I'm not going to tell you how to answer, but you can just say whether or not you're in agreement with something. In terms of the motion to compel, I haven't heard it yet. So I'm just trying to find out from a cursory standpoint what your position is.
Yeah, she's muted because I can see her lips
for
going.
issues, so that I can figure out if there are partial agreements or not. It sounds like there aren't. So based upon your response, I'm going to take it that you're not in agreement with their motion to compel. In terms of their request for deposition dates, what's your response to that? I send you a prompt to unmute yourself.
What dates?
Ms. Kimball, do you have proposed dates?
I can. I would propose.
And whose expense? Mine? Because if it's mine, I'm not fucking doing it.
There's a curse.
Give me $100 fee. Woo, woo.
So, I am finding you in direct contempt.
Okay, one fine.
Finding you $100.
Okay, make it 2. Damn, I said 2 words.
Ma'am, I don't think you want to do this. At least the people in the courtroom seem to think you don't want to do this. I will.
No, I think she
not
wants to do
because
this.
you're requesting it, but because you're not following the order. As I said, sanction you.
Please do.
Let me do it. So that's
Please. Here, I'm sure she wants my apartment number, right? Turn it to Miss Kimball. You're gonna want.
Stop. That's not something that she asked for. Ms. Kimball, what date?
No, everybody else.
I would propose August 30th or September 2nd.
Okay.
How long?
As long as it takes.
How long? That's a valid question. Is it half day, an hour, 2 hours? What do you anticipate?
I wouldn't anticipate a full day.
That's only because of who she's dealing with. This type of hearing would usually take about an hour, but not with this Amanda.
So what? The 30th or the 2nd?
Yeah. Which of those dates works better for you, Ms. Stiles?
What time, dumbass? 3 contempts.
You're correct. That is 3.
You are correct. That is 300.
Start at 9 a.m.
What date?
So that question is to you. Never mind.
At what time?
Time,
date? You know, these
I'm
things.
not gonna let you look. You don't get to do this for your own pocketbook. I'm muting you for
For your own pocketbook, I'm muting you. She's flipping him off of the camera.
Violation. So, in terms of the request for the deposition, she didn't.
Okay, so I think what's really going on here is they're doing a discovery schedule on some stuff involving, again, I believe it's a custody case because I watched the rest of it, and they do a bunch of reasonable stuff in that sense. So basically, it's a civil matter. I don't think this judge is accustomed to seeing a lot of this sort of behavior. This is out of the norm, and he's just not comfortable ringing her up because he's not used to it. People usually don't do that. They're in this context, the defendants are facing loss of liberty and going to jail and stuff already, so that they can get a little crazier more often. But he's just too nice in that he's accustomed to dealing with attorneys and people who are trying to get their way, and when you're doing that, you don't act this way.
Have any objections? For my own record, that she opted out after flipping me off.
Flipping me off.
Won't comment. So I'm going to grant the request for August the 30th at 9 a.m. in your office.
Well, there you have it. Maybe the most obnoxious court appearance in the history of Law Talk with Mike. I'm not sure. There's been some bad ones, but that was the definition of contempt. I mean, she was telling the judge directly, "I have no respect for you or this court. Please hold me in contempt. You can't do anything that you say that you're suggesting." Those sorts of things. It was absolutely unbelievable.
Here at Law Talk, we like to
Yes, it was, Mike, and I definitely thank you again. If you'd like to have more of him, head on over to Law Talk with Mike on YouTube. He'd be more than happy to have you there. With that, we're about ready to bring Part A to a close. It's a little longer than normal, just because there's rolls and a few other things that we were able to do today. We're going to do this one fight that I've got loaded on the launcher, and of course then be around for subsets, Karens, and all the other goodies in the evening. And of course, Art Bell in the overnight is what we have, of course, on tap as per usual. And we're going to try that lineup that I used over here, over there, to see if it works everywhere or if it just works due to the fact of the higher powered teams that I have over here for those heroes. Come on, still 3 left to knock down. There we go, got 1. Second one's about to fall. Here's 2. I'm going to try to build up powers. Okay, round 2. Martha's about to go. Oliver's definitely ready to go. And if somebody attacks Yasmin, Yasmin's ready to go. Launch Martha, that'll speed up everybody. Get the blade going of Kira. Bring the shield up of Astrov. And since the magic's gone, re-put Oliver's magic up. Perfect. Double crit. Oh, that was just the damn spit out, not the actual character. Now we're going after the actual character. Minute 10 left. Okay, we're down to 2. Spitter's out, so we got one guy and the item that's got spit out. Just the item spit out. There we go. On to the boss fight. We will crit Kira right off the top. Shield up. That can't be good. Alright, took care of that first one. Here comes another one of the bombs. I got that one out. Another bomb. They're not showing us the power bar of this guy. They're showing the power bar of the bombs that come out, but not of the tank boy here. Oh, another tank, another bomb. That one got to be launched. Only got 30 seconds left. Oh, there we go. I think we finally got to see a progress bar. Come on, there ain't much left. Gotta get them before the time runs out. We only got 30 seconds. Got him! The king is dead? This is a great loss for our people. The reactor won't cool down by itself, though. We have to replenish the coolant supply or it'll explode sooner or later. Look, the coolant supply has been drained to the tanks near the city wall. I hope you can cool down the reactor in time. Pour the coolant into the technical compartment. The only way to stop the reactor from overheating and exploding is to completely fill the compartment with coolant. Hurry up. Defeat the enemies in battle in several ways of increasing difficulty. Reward for each enemy defeated gives you coolant. Interesting. Wave 1. So it's supposed to be like a never-ending battle, though? Well, while we're here, let's turn the music on. At least the sound effects of the fight. Wave 3. Oh, there's a wave 4. Wave 5. Six. Oh, this is the boss endurance run. Seven. 8. Nine. I will apologize. I did not expect episode 1 to go this long. I did not expect this kind of a fight to occur. We will conclude the moment, though, that it is complete. One thing I could say, I certainly hope it isn't one enemy, one piece of coolant. Because to get 300 coolants, then that'd mean 300 enemies, and have 5 enemies a level. That's 60 levels! However, unless these guys turn this around, this might be the last round. And we're down to 35 seconds. Well, the healer's gone. We got a chance now. 20 seconds. $15. $5 seconds. With 1 second on the clock. With 1 second on the clock, we make it. Alright, so it looks like you're going to have to do that multiple times. We will leave it again for the day at that point. As always, please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe. Be kind to one another and release the Krakens as we march along here from day one. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you tonight.